Have you ever sat behind the wheel of your automatic car, floor the pedal, and feel like it's just thinking about it? Like your car said, let me finish my coffee first. Yeah, that's how most automatics feel. Calm, poised, and a bit too nice. But no one tells you that underneath that tranquility there's a wild side. A version of your automobile that begs to be free. Some folks have found out how to release it. They're doing things that aren't quite lawful. They're tinkering with software, tricking sensors, and bypassing systems that vehicle builders never meant you to touch. And the outcome? Cars that shift quicker, launch harder, and sound meaner, all while being officially stock. But wait on, before you start looking for ECU flash cheap near me, this video isn't going to get you jailed or breach your warranty. It's here to disclose what's going on underground and how those so-called illegal tricks function. Understanding why they operate allows you to experience the same excitement without compromising your vehicle or finances. Okay, fasten your seatbelts and prepare to be curious. Let's enter the gray zone. Section 1. The reality of automatic cars. Automatics have a poor rap. People claim they are dull, sluggish, or cannot be modified in the same way that manuals can. However, this is just the surface of the issue. Modern automatics are significantly more sophisticated than people realize. They are packed with computer logic sensors that determine when to shift, how much torque to deliver, and how soft or harsh it should feel. Every time you press the accelerator, your automobile engages in a quiet conversation with itself. Is there a catch? Manufacturers program those talks for the ordinary motorist who is concerned about comfort, noise, and fuel economy. Not you. Not the person who wants their automobile to behave like a living creature. That's why fans began experimenting with modifying discussions to reveal hidden performance. Sometimes intelligently, sometimes they act foolishly, sometimes illegally. Section 2. The first trick? The shift map hack. Let us begin with a seemingly simple task, changing the shift map. When you accelerate, your automatic transmission determines when to change gears. Typically, it upshifts early to save gasoline. It's as if your automobile is saying, "We don't need to rush, let's stay calm." Tuners enter and announce, "No calm today." They modify the car's software to hold ratios longer, increase RPMs before shifting, and make downshifts faster. Suddenly, your automobile feels like it's running on espresso. It kicks harder, sounds harsher, and moves quicker. But here's a dirty little secret. Your transmission wasn't designed for that kind of abuse. Heat rises, clutch packs wear quicker, and before you know it, that fun map you got from a forum has cost you $2,000 in repairs. People still do it. Why? Because it feels great. It's addicting, like if your automobile has suddenly developed a personality. That is the kind of temptation that fuels the gray market of tuning. Section 3. Torque limiter bypass, the beast unchained. The torque limiter bypass is a creative but potentially risky innovation. To preserve your gearbox, automobile manufacturers impose torque limitations. When you floor it, the automobile briefly cuts power throughout shifts, which is why you don't experience a sudden shock. But tuners despise that softness. So they hack the system, either via software or piggyback devices, and lie to the ECU. It tricked the automobile into believing, "Hey, everything's fine," while sending full torque into the transmission. What will happen next? You experience tremendous, sharp acceleration. The automobile changes like a machine gun. Boom, bang, bang. All excitement. But that gearbox is now weeping in binary. Every change causes a mini earthquake within those gears. What if anything breaks? You can forget about the warranty and good luck explaining to your technician why your stock vehicle drives like a race car. Section 4. Fake launch control, the street racer's favorite. This one is pure mischief, faking launch control on vehicles that never had it. This is how it works. In true performance automobiles, launch control keeps the engine at a predetermined RPM for the optimal launch before dumping torque all at once when the brakes are released. However, with less expensive automatics, this function is not present. People devised workarounds, such as altering sensors to trick the automobile into believing it is in the correct circumstances. You push both pedals, crank the engine, then let go of the brake, and boom. Launched instantly. It feels amazing until it doesn't. Because of the quick burst of torque, it's like sending a weightlifter into a marathon. Something will snap, Drivetrains, drive shafts, and even axles are all under tremendous pressure. And here's the worrying part. These counterfeit launch control kits are being marketed online as safe mods. They are not. They're computerized grenades with a hidden timer. Section 5, the sensor scam, and the airbox lie. Okay, let's speak about a long-standing trick: deceiving your car's air sensors. You've seen it. People punching holes in airboxes, replacing filters, or installing strange, tiny resistors that trick the vehicle into believing it's breathing cooler air. They term it cold air tuning. In principle, colder air is denser, therefore more oxygen means greater power. In reality, most of these hacks simply alter ECU readings, causing the engine to discharge excess gasoline or adjust ignition timing. The vehicle may feel more powerful for a day, but it will eventually run rich, block the catalytic converter, or cause a persistent check engine light. And guess what? Tampering with emission sensors. In most countries, this is just unlawful. Section 6. Shift response tricks. The electric wizardry. Another method that has been discussed in internet forums is the use of resistors or signal interceptors to speed up transmission shifts. People solder small boxes or connect gadgets between the transmission solenoids and the control module. What's the promise? Faster shifts? Sportier feel? No tune required. What's the truth? You're disrupting safety signals in a system that relies on precise timing. It's similar to attempting to increase your heart rate by shocking your chest with a 9-volt battery. Sometimes it works, sometimes it does not. But if it doesn't, your vehicle may lurch, hesitate, or crash into gears with such ferocity that your passengers will doubt your sanity. Section 7. Traction control. Hack, fun, or fiasco. You know the small button that reads TCS off? That's not a recommendation, it's a warning label. Traction control makes your vehicle steady, particularly in rain or snow. But what about the enthusiasts? They despised it. They believe it ruins the enjoyment. So they go further, permanently disabling the system via secret menus or hardware bypasses. On dry roads, this might result in more power to the ground and quicker launches. On wet roads, your automobile might spin like a rocket. One motorist on a forum boasted about beating a Mustang off the line. The next week, he uploaded photos of his vehicle upside down in a ditch. No traction control means no second chances. Section 8. The boost hack and why it's a trap. Turbo vehicles are where things get extremely hot. People like installing manual boost controllers, which involve turning a little knob to increase boost pressure. Doesn't it sound cool? More air, more fuel means greater power. Except that the stock turbo system is not stupid. It is balanced for a purpose. If you increase the boost too high, you will be asking small pistons to play rugby. The first few draws felt incredible. What about the 9th one? You're collecting engine bits like confetti. Once again, overriding factory boost controls is deemed tampering with emission systems in many nations. It is unlawful, period. Section 9. The dumbest trick, weight stripping. This would be almost humorous if it weren't so hazardous. People really remove airbags, sound insulation, and even seatbelts to save weight. You may shed a few kilograms, but you may remove safety elements that might save your life. A lighter automobile that kills you quicker is hardly an improvement. It's simply idiotic courage combined with terrible math. Section 10. Why people still do it. Why do individuals continue to use unauthorized modifications despite these consequences? Simple. Because they like the sensation, the feeling of control, the joy of hearing your automobile scream differently, and the pride of declaring, yeah, I tuned that myself. It's not necessarily about speed, it's about connectivity. When your automobile reacts immediately to your instructions, it seems alive. Passion, rather than rebellion, drives its underground culture. What's the problem? Passion without patience results in disaster. Section 11. The legal alternatives that actually work. Now, let's speak about the sensible methods to enjoy the same pleasure without using a lawyer or a tow truck. Get a reliable ECU or TCU tune from qualified tuners who provide dyno testing, paperwork, and reversible setups. Improve your transmission cooling. Heat is a killer of automatics. Keep it cool and quick. Install performance clutch packs. Designed for increased torque, they can tolerate hard driving without complaint. Upgrade your tires and suspension to improve control over your speed. And what about factory reliability with Spice? Search for manufacturer-approved performance packages. They cost extra, but they protect your warranty and prevent you from waking up to an angry check engine light. Section 12. True stories from the streets. I've known men who learnt these things the hard way. One modified his Camry's TCU for stronger shifts, and it seemed like a sports car for 2 weeks until the gearbox seized in traffic. Another driver evaded traction control to do fun launches and ended up sliding into a curb, releasing both airbags. There's always that one man who says, "Mine's fine." Yeah, until it's not. Section 13. The real trick you should learn. Unbeknownst to many, there is no need for illegal changes to improve your automatic transmission. You just need to comprehend it. Discover how it shifts, when it hesitates, how heat affects it, and how your throttle input influences everything. Knowledge is the true performance mod, because the automobile does not have to be dangerous to make you feel strong. It only has to be yours. Next time someone says, "You can't make an automatic fun," just smile, touch your paddle shifter, and prove them wrong legally. If you loved this breakdown, please leave a like. This tells me you want to see more videos that show the true side of auto culture. Comment "Shift Smart" if you want me to do a follow-up on the legal tuning secrets that work. And subscribe if you want to know what your vehicle is really capable of, because next week we'll be discussing the misconceptions auto salesmen don't want you to know. Drive cautiously. Stay curious. Remember, it's the driver, not the automobile.